All right, so yesterday would have been Virtual Wednesday. Because of the snow day, we basically just took whatever wasn't finished on Tuesday and pushed it to Wednesday. So hopefully you finished the tutorial. If you come into class and have questions about it, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know, okay? All right, so in person you'll get instructions, but basically you're going to be completing bubbles 17, 19, 20. We're skipping 18 on both of these because that's the AP response. I don't expect you to do that. In class, as long as you get 17, 19, 20 done, you're good. We'll do a Kahoot in class. If you're at home, you'll begin lesson 9, bubbles 1 through 17. Okay, so let's look at this 17 because I'm going to have some additional requirements in there. And I'll put that in the assignment, so you'll just have to check there. So first off, let's look at 16 though. So stay tuned for the requirements. So this question at first, when I looked at it, I picked I wanted to pick all the above, but the question was, which one of this following is not a valid use of random number? And if you look at it, move forward a random number, pen width a random number, turn left a random number, so that's no problem. So the question is can you put random number in the call or the definition parameter area? And the answer would be this one right here. And that's because you should have a parameter name here. So you can call a random number, so let's say it ends up being 33, but you know that in the function definition, that number would end up being 33, but you need a name in here. So like for example, size. And then in your code somewhere, you'd have size, and that's where it accepts it. But it's in the call you would have the random number and not the definition, okay? All right, great. So let's look at 17. 19 and 20 are questions that you're going to be able to do, but let's look at 17, and I want you to do this with me. Now in here, it talks about how there's generalized behaviors for making the seagrass and the starfish. So they change every time you hit play, okay, because you have some random numbers in there. So like draw starfish, random number. So it's picking something in between there, and another random number as well. And we see that in our calls. So most of these we have, you know, at least one random parameter, maybe two, like this one for example, draw fish, we have 3 random parameters, and that's because if we go down to draw starfish, or draw fish, we have red, green, and blue determining the color for our pen RGB right here. What I would like you to do though, well, in the directions it says this, keep adding to your drawing, make more function calls, and see if you can continue to use random calls to add a variety of drawings. So what I'm going to say is this. You have 2 fish, 2 starfish, 2 seagrass. I would like you to do 3 of each. And I want you to think of maybe using random in a different way. So like the move 2s, for example, you could put random there, right? So think of different ways you could do, you could actually use random. So I want 3 starfish, 3 seagrass, and 3 regular fish. But think of new ways to use the random call. And the background. I would like you to change the background to actually include different colors in it. So I'm going to show you that part because I know you might struggle with that. But basically, I'm going to draw 3 in there, and I'm going to do red, green, blue. And now if you can figure this out, I want you to, the color of the background to change between red, green, and blue, like some different, you know, only some green and some blue, okay? So let's go down to our draw background. Right now the pen color is dark blue. We don't really want that. So let's do pen color RGB, and in there we can put our red, green, blue. Oops, sorry about that. Red, green, blue, and then the alpha you can just leave at 1, right? Now you think, oh, I'm all set, but no, remember that you have to accept the parameter here of red, green, blue. Okay, great. So now this is set up to set a color and then do a dot of 1000. So if you run it, it's saying, hey, it's not working right now. So if we look, we have draw background red, green, blue. There was my mistake. That's where I want numbers. So for example, I could have 0 red. Maybe I want a little bit of green, so 30. And blue, let's do quite a bit of blue. Let's do 150. Remember, you can go up to 255. If we run this thing, we get this color here, okay? It's not going to change because it's not random. If we want to go a little lighter, let's just do 50 and see what that would look like. Ooh, that's pretty dark. Oh, that's right. Higher numbers get you closer to a lighter color. So let's do 150 here, and let's do 255 here and see what we get. All right, so I like that. That gives me a good idea of about the range I want to be. So then we go to math. We're going to drop the random in there. We don't want 0 red, but we want some green and blue. So let's do 150 green to 230. So pretty green, all right? And then the blue, we can go quite a bit. So let's go 200 to 255. And we could run this a few times and see what happens. And we get these different blues. If you're colorblind, I'm sorry, but it's working actually. Okay, so again, I changed the background. I'd like you to do this as well. Hello, Katie. But I also want you to add one more call for the starfish, seagrass, and draw fish, okay? And that way you have 3 items of each, okay? The again, don't do 18, and then 19 and 20, I do want you to work through those questions. When you're done with that, you can move on, and you should move on if you're home on Thursday, but if you're in class, you could probably complete the next on Friday, okay? That is it.